It looks like the hostages are due to return, to their families. This is a big deal. Donald Trump revealing the news on my former colleague Sean Hannity's show last night. Let's listen in.
I think you're going to see people getting along, and you'll see Gaza being rebuilt. We're forming a council that the Council of Peace, we think it's going to be called, and it's going to be very powerful. And it's going to really, I think to a large extent, it's going to have a lot to do with the whole Gaza situation. People are going to be taken care of. It's going to be a different world. I think really the Middle East came together. Amazingly, they came together. You know, they have some countries with extraordinary wealth, and just spending a small portion of that wealth can do so much for that area. So
he did it.
We'll be involved in it, but the big thing is hostages are going to be released. It's probably our time would be probably Monday. And
boom!
They're a terrible situation. They're deep,
horrible.
They're deep in.
But you know what? He did it. Okay, he put this announcement out. I'm very proud to announce that Israel and Hamas have both signed off on the first phase of our peace plan. That means that all the hostages will be released very soon, and Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed upon line as the first steps towards a strong, durable, and everlasting peace. All parties will be treated fairly. This is a great day for the Arab and Muslim world, Israel and all surrounding nations, and the United States of America. And I got to say, you know what? Thank you, President Trump. It's a great day for you. It really is, because here's the reality, guys. Like, this could not have happened. It could not have happened without Donald Trump. All right? It took a very unique person to get this one done. And I'm just saying, Hillary Clinton, I think you're going to have to owe him an apology and perhaps a Nobel Peace Prize nomination.
If President Trump were the architect of that, I'd nominate him for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah. So we're waiting. Is it going to happen? I will tell you this. You look at the media right now and they're like in shock. I mean, they just can't believe what's happened. I mean, even CNN can't spin it. They got Goldman on, the rep from New York, and he's sitting there like, I mean, they don't know quite how to react to this other than to say, yeah, gosh, this is good. You think?
That this was not doable when President Biden was in office.
I think the biggest problem that the President Biden had is there was no pressure from Qatar, from Turkey, from Egypt. They were actually facilitating in many ways what was going on. And that is really ultimately how it all came together.
So, I mean, but I think by saying that, it's sort of an acknowledgement. Trump has changed that dynamic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I think
absolutely.
that.
I mean, he's clearly.
I don't know how he, and I think there's a lot that remains to learn about what prompted that change. But I do agree, yes, somehow, some way that changed.
And yet here we are. Something changed. How did that change? It's called negotiation, people. They do this in business all the time. They just don't know how to do it in politics because, you see, they see it as a zero-sum game. Only one side wins. And Donald Trump understands something that's fundamental to the business community. And I say this as someone who comes from the business community, who is still in the business community. Quick shout out for 76 Research. Go to 76research.com. Use code word $. My gift to you, $1 for the first 2 months. That's my financial research firm. I am telling you that what we get in business that they don't get in politics? We get that it's not a zero-sum game and that everybody has to win a little something along the way, and we have to give in order to get. And wow, they're standing by in the media on MSNBC this morning. This was great. David Ignatius from the Washington Post. Watch.
The deal that President Trump is announcing played a key part in negotiating. It is a significant change. This war was blocked for 2 years. President Biden, who preceded him, was unable to find a way to stop it. President Trump found that way by being tough on both sides. And he'll take a victory lap for sure over the next few days, but it's deserved. There's no way that I can see that this would have been done without Trump's pressure in the final hours.
Boom. Okay. Wow. I mean, it takes a lot for them to admit this kind of thing, right? It really, really does. But it's wonderful news.
One of the things about honesty and citizenship and a sense of, I would say, maturity about what people in a democracy should do is, even if someone with whom you disagree about 99 things, does the 100 really well? You should say so.
Yes, you can. Okay, John McEacham. This is the guy, by the way, who you just saw interviewing Carter back in the day when Carter came out with the big revelation that Donald Trump wasn't a legitimate president because the election had been stolen by the Russians, right? He has a very clear bias. He's very much in Biden's camp. He's one of the guys that Biden called in initially when Biden had his, reporter gathering there at the Oval Office to say, what is it that I can do to go down in the history books to be more like FDR? This is one of the guys, all right? So he's a presidential historian. There he is on MSNBC having to eat crow effectively and admit, yeah, we got to give credit where credit is due.
Because that's what intellectual honesty is. And so all credit to President Trump and his, as you say, unconventional team. But if he takes an unconventional team, that's fine, right? I remember once asking the senior President Bush after something terrible had happened. It's a sign of something that I can't remember what it was after he'd been president. Something had happened in the Middle East. And I said, this is a man who spent decades dealing with this. I said, Mr. President, do you think this ever gets resolved? And he said, God, I don't know. That's what one of the most experienced diplomatic presidents in American history thought, is that it was an unknowable thing.
So imagine that. Unknowable. In other words, other presidents couldn't even get close. And here he is. I mean, we're not even in a year in. And you got a peace deal. Phase one. I mean, it's unbelievable.